I wrote this following blessing during a time that was pretty difficult for me. And so it has a lot of emotion attached to it. And I felt like it was really inspired by God that ministered to me. And so today I want to read this. I wanted to read it over all of you who need hope. All of you who need hope in your bodies, in your minds, in your emotions, in your circumstances. And I'm specifically going to use 2 different names for people that I'm praying for, even though I'm praying for a number of people. But these 2, whom I've never met, Amy Joy and Alan, are both battling cancer. And I am praying for you too, Amy Joy and Alan, and so many others of my friends who need hope and who need this blessing. And I pray that it ministers deeply to you as it did to me when I wrote it and sometimes when I've read it later. It's Blessing 56 called Night Song. Oh, Amy, Joy, and Alan, you know troubles and trials. It's a given, for life on earth falls far short of heaven's glory. You know, James is the one who pens the words of consider it all joy when you encounter various trials in chapter 1 of his holy inspired book. That clues us into the fact that trials are common, but they have potential for the believer, even the ones, and most specifically the ones that are the hardest and the most difficult to endure. So I bless you, Amy, Joy, and Alan, as you face this current trial. I bless you with God's heart for you and the beauty of his presence in you and your difficulties. You know, it's Psalm 42 that explicitly details the candid cry of one overcome by trouble, but whose voice resonates with hope, born out of intimacy with God. Listen to the well-known words of verse 1. As the deer pants for the water brooks, so pants my soul for you, O God. You know, it was in 1981 that Martha Nystrom wrote a familiar praise and worship song, As the Deer, based on this verse. And while it's a beautiful melody with striking words, it doesn't even begin to capture the desperation of the psalmist who was clamoring for help and drowning in dire circumstances. In fact, verse 7 of Psalm 42, you've heard it before, deep calls unto deep. At the noise of your waterfalls, all your waves and billows have gone over me, is a vivid description of the psalmist's overwhelming trials like you're experiencing now. And yet it's also a prayer song of one desperate for the intimate touch from the God he knows on a deep level. Amy, Joy, and Alan, Crystal, and all the others who are experiencing difficulty, that is your heart's cry. The God who knows you and your comings and goings and every word on your tongue before it is spoken. The God who formed you marvelously in your mother's womb. The God who calls you by name and has called you from darkness to light will see you through this hardship. So I bless you with jubilant hope in him. I bless you with a deep, abiding, constant call of eager longing to draw ever nearer to him. I encourage you to yearn for his touch and to experience it in a way that ministers intimately, so that his love and his spirit pour over you with greater intensity than the trouble that threatens to drown your hope and lay claim to your faith. Verse 8 of Psalm 42, it speaks, no, it sings of this blessed hope. The Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, a prayer to the God of my life. And this verse, it's a beacon of blessing that's positioned intentionally between the psalmist's questioning and his cries for assistance. It stands as a testimony to God's character and his ever-present help. So Amy, Joy, and Alan, listen again. Listen again, all you who are experiencing difficulty at this time. Listen to the life-inspiring words again. The Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, a prayer to the God of my life. Let those words ring through your mind and into your very spirit and soul. And Amy, Joy, and Alan, I pray for your days to reveal God's love in a myriad of ways that will both take your breath away and breathe expectation and endurance into your very being, into the very core of your being. This is warrior talk of emotional and experiential significance. Our reigning, victorious Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime for you. Don't ever doubt it. Look for his timing and his ways in the most insignificant and yet compelling details, for he is a master at weaving his love through means that bespeak his glory and his goodness. And I encourage you, Amy Joy. I encourage you, Alan. I encourage all of you who are listening to this who need hope, who need God to come through for you in your body, in your circumstances, in your soul, in your emotions. I encourage you with God's promise that his song shall be with you, a prayer to the God of your life. I bless you with his refrain holding you steady when night descends. I bless your night season to be rich and replete and full with the sweetness of God's tenderness. And I bless you with words that he gives you to sing back to him so that you harmonize with God's heart for you. It will be a song like no other, and you will sing with abandon to and with the one who descends into the depths with you. And when the waves threaten to crash, he will transform the sound to a hymn of faith that echoes into the spiritual realm with reverberating praise. Yes, I urge you, Amy Joy, I urge you, Alan, to sing. And I bless you in the name of God Almighty, your strength and your song. He is your shield, and he alone is your heart's desire, and only he can satisfy. Never cease to sing God's night song, for he will serenade you with it. And I pray that as his song settles deep into your heart and your spirit, that it will breathe new life into every cell of your body. It will cause life to explode with the vitality and love of Jesus over all that concerns you. I bless.